Hi there. My name is Jen and I'm with Wellbeing, and I'm excited to share with you today some ideas about getting prepared to go back to school wearing a mask. Now, these ideas don't come just from me. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been meeting with kids back in my office, transitioning from teletherapy back to in-office visits, and that means we're both wearing masks. So some of the conversation, actually a lot of the conversation, has been around this new experience for a lot of kids going out in public and preparing for going back to school wearing a mask. So gathering data and information from kids, we've come up with 3 strategies that we want to share with other families. The first one is find a mask that fits well, right? So if we just buy a mask and assume it's going to fit well, we might be in a lot of trouble right there. Kids have preferences, and so experimenting with a couple of different masks, if you're able, would be a great way to start. Some kids like masks that go over the ears. Some kids like the masks that are around the neck and come up. Some kids like the masks that tie around the head. So finding one that seems to fit well enough and good enough for kids would be the first recommendation. The second recommendation is practice, right? So just like anything we want to get better at, practicing gets us more comfortable and familiar and better at it. So the recommendation would be start with smaller bits of time and increase over time, and do it quite frequently. Some of the kids I work with had some great ideas about having a start and end time. So for example, if you're going on a car ride and you know it's going to be a 5-minute car ride, this might be a great time to put the mask on and practice wearing it for about 5 minutes. Some kids have been practicing wearing the mask watching a show. So for 20 minutes, putting the mask on and knowing that, wow, I was able to wear the mask for 20 minutes. So those are different ideas of getting used to and more familiar with wearing a mask, and increasing over time would be the suggestion. The third one, and this is the most challenging one, is getting more comfortable or experienced with just feeling a little bit uncomfortable with wearing a mask. For some kids, the sensitivity to having a mask around their face can feel quite overwhelming. So again, starting with smaller bits of time and increasing over time is going to be helpful. But one of the strategies that kids came up with in getting more comfortable with the uncomfortableness of wearing a mask is paying attention to our thoughts. If your thoughts are, I don't like to wear a mask, this isn't fair, I wish things were different, that automatically is going to set us up for feeling frustration, overwhelm, and disappointment. If we decide to shift or practice reframing those thoughts, so for example, thinking, this isn't necessarily the way I would like to be able to connect with friends or go back to school, but this is going to keep me more safe and I need to give it my best. It's going to change the way we feel. So our thoughts greatly impact how we feel and show up. We hope those 3 strategies get you started with practicing, getting familiar with, and exposing yourself to wearing a mask a little bit more in prepping for heading back to school. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment box so that others can learn from you as well. Be well.